What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris the Atari Creep right here. This video is going to be a very, very, very late response to my buddy Dean of Round2Gaming. Some time ago, he hit a subscription milestone and had a contest. Now, what Dean does, if you're not familiar with him, and you friggin' should be, is he's a gamer and he does random game reviews using his phone and app. Which is pretty cool. But he also collects a lot of memorabilia, and he's got this memorabilia room that's just insane. I've mentioned it a couple of times, and I can't wait for a tour video. But long story short, what he did was he posed a request for us gamers to post a video about something that's non-game related, that we're passionate about, or a collection that we do outside of gaming, or something to that, that fact. Some people posted their record collection, and he also said if you have like one thing that's really cool, whatever. And I didn't get involved in the contest. One, because I don't really care about winning stuff, guys, but I just like to support you guys as much as you support me. Two, I just didn't have time at the time. And three, I'm lazy. So I was doing some rearranging, and I've been doing some painting, and I figured I'd show you guys that. Now, if you've watched any of my old videos, you know that I'm really into artsy stuff. I mean, I'm not like hush push, but I like to paint. I like to make props. I used to make props for the haunted attraction industry, for fun mostly. I also made horror props and traded with a bunch of people online in the early days of this internet stuff. I made a lot of Freddy gloves, and I'm probably going to make one soon too. And if you guys want to see that, I'll show you how it's done, and I'll, maybe I'll make another one and give it away too. But I'm also a musician, so this is just going to be general, roundabout, creative stuff. So let me put my coffee down. Of course, after a sip. And we'll start with, I'll just show you some paintings first, and then we'll get into some other stuff, and I hope this doesn't drag on too long, but, it's inevitable. But yeah, let me just jump right into it. This is just a little thing that I painted some years ago. It doesn't have any meaning or anything. This is actually the cover to a tombstone that Michaels had years ago, and you could open it up like this and put something in it. And it was just wood that you painted, but I literally just painted the lid to it, and I liked how it came out, so I kept it. Here's a more recent one. I kind of combined in a magazine image, see if I can get the glare off of it, with some paint, and I did some pinstriping here. I'm not the greatest pinstriper, plus I was using acrylics, but yeah, I just completed this one this past week, and I was pretty happy with the way this one turned out, so that's pretty cool. Alright, this one's pretty interesting, and I'll explain how this is done very quickly, because I got a couple other things that are going to be done in the same method. I wanted a Necronomicon, so I made this guy. And if you can see, he's actually three-dimensional. And how I made this guy is, this is just a lid to a cigar box, and I just crumpled up paper and glued it to the cigar box in the shapes I wanted. The eyeballs are actually sporks that ran down to my local Circle K and just grabbed a couple of sporks from them real quick. And what's coating it, in this case, is, it's Viva paper towels, because Viva doesn't have a pattern to it, per se. And when you get it wet with something that dries and locks it in, it gives you this really cool leathery skin effect. And I've used that technique with a lot of my props back in the day. This one wasn't done with liquid latex like I normally would. What you do is you make the shape, and you hit it with latex, you put the Viva paper towel over it, you hit it again with latex, you let it dry, you hit it again with latex, you let it dry, you get a couple of good coverage, coats, and then you paint it, and there you go. And you can seal it if you want. I didn't seal this one, I wanted it to be, but this one I actually used just Elmer's glue to do it. So you don't have to buy latex to do cool shit like this. And like I said, it's just Viva paper towels. That's all it is. Alright, next. This is a little goofy something I put together. Again, from the same magazine. And this is just a pin-up chick, and I took her head off and I put a three-dimensional skull on her. I had to grind that down. That was actually a bead for a necklace or something. And it says Rise. I don't know why I put that there. That's some Charles Manson bullshit, I guess. I don't know. This is one from a long time ago. I did. And you can't really see it well, but the actual cage is done in kind of a chrome silver. But I had seen a tattoo like this, and I never finished this. It was supposed to be glowing and all kinds of crap. But I saw a tattoo that was very similar and came up with my own version of it, and I'm pretty happy. And I don't know if you could tell, but his eyes are lit like a candle inside. I like this one a lot, so I keep it around. Here's another very old one. Just some weirdo green guy with a tree sticking out of his head. And I went through this phase where I made this like wood-like background. If you're a fan of Slayer, you'll recognize this technique from a lot of their album covers, like Hell Awaits. I also believe Seasons of the Abyss had something similar, and of course Hell to Heaven did too. But I got really into making this kind of wood pattern for a while there. And this is one of those ones I didn't know where it was going, so I just painted, and that's where it went. So I call this one Creepy Guy with Dildo. And you can see why. His face was made from scratching the paint away, and the rest of it's just globs and globs of paint, and that's all it really is. And again, this is that same technique I use on the wood look ones. This was just, I did it real quick. There actually used to be a painting of a door here. I don't know why I painted a door. Here's another one with that same wood thing. Let me sit back a little bit. This guy was inspired by a painting from, if you're into horror at all, you know Hellraiser. Oh my god, why can't I think of his name? Clive Barker. He's a painter as well. But he has a huge painting of a guy that looks very similar to this. So I saw that and I made my own version. It looks completely different, but kind of the same. And I just thought he fit in pretty cool down there. He's just random. So this is a more recent one I did about maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I don't know what it is. It originally had this weird yellow thing here and like blood splatter, and I didn't know where I was going with it, and I didn't like it, so it sat for about a year. And then I picked it up because I wanted to paint again, and that's what I love about old paintings. You know, if you get so tired of what's on there and you put it down and shit, later on something new will come out of it. And I was so happy with this one. It's kind of very scratchy, and I did a lot of what they call dry brushing on here. I'm not going to explain that if you don't know what it is. You can go look that up, but I'm really happy about this one. I'm going to hang on to this one too for a long time. Here's another one that I painted years ago. Actually, no, this one's probably, yeah, last year. I'm sorry. No explanation. But I will say that if you look real close inside the red, there's like little faces. They're almost like demons or souls or something. And one of the things I like to do is, I don't have a lot of examples of it, is this thing called matrix painting. And I don't know if that's even a phrase or not, but I came up with that, whether it's a real thing or not. But basically what it is you just make a shitload of mess, and then you try to depict faces and stuff, much like you would look at a cloud and see a bunny rabbit. When the brain sees complicated patterns, it wants to see things that are familiar, like faces, and your brain will pick out faces and such, and then I work off of that. And that's basically what this kind of was. It didn't start off that way. And then you got this little tormented guy here, and I guess he's in hell. I don't know. This is a very recent one I did, about a week ago. Shit, I can't remember. Actually, this is a canvas I picked up at Goodwill. They had this blue and purple pattern, or actually it was just blue and black. So what I did is I dry brushed some more blue and purple over it, and then hit it with this gray. Or actually, yeah, it was a dark gray, and then I dry brushed white over it, and gave it that really cool kind of concrete stone effect. And then I just blended it out with some shadowing. That's basically just water and paint. You just layer it up. And, you know, that's my signature for painting. It's pretty cool. I've used that for years. I really like this one too. I don't have a name for it. I don't have a name for half of these things. I'm just kind of coming up with them on the whim. But yeah, I love that one. That was going on the wall. Now this is a big bastard, so that's why the camera's where it is, because this guy has to come in the frame. This is probably my largest painting to date, and I call this one Trio Lantern. I hope you can really see that. I'll come up closer. This one originally was going to be this weird tree thing here, and then like a single grave and all kinds of shit. But then it went, if you look at the pattern here, I took a sponge and a bunch of different fall colors and did it all over the painting, doing that matrix thing. And the matrix thing just never really came out. I mean, I can see a little face right there, and there's a great big demon face right here if you look. Or maybe I'm just weird. But this tree guy came out of it, and that's the great thing about art, is you never know where the fuck it's going. I sometimes come up with an idea, and sometimes I don't. That last one I just showed you with the kind of concrete looking guy, there was an idea there, but it turned into something else that was beautiful. And that's what I love about this shit. So that's pretty much for paintings. I mean, I'm going to show you one more, and this is just a good example of failure. Actually, I got another one over here. Not that you haven't seen enough, but this is a failure too. I try to make it look like little rusty blocks welded, tack welded onto a piece of wood or something. I don't know. This one might get pulled apart and repainted on. Any of you guys like it, you're going to have it. Yeah, I don't really sell my stuff. It usually sits in a closet. This one's dusty as hell. They usually sit in a closet or on the wall. I've never really displayed my stuff or anything. In fact, this is the first time I'm really sharing it other than pictures on Facebook, so consider yourself lucky. But this is considered a failure. Right here. This is what the fuck am I doing and where am I going with this bullshit? And I'm done with this one completely. In fact, this one might get thrashed for two reasons. One, because when I moved into this house, it landed on something, a corner, and it tore right through, if you can see, right here, tore right through the canvas. So I figured, and it was a really cool, God, it broke my fucking heart. But there was just, I can't even describe it. It was really cool, a background of something. And so I got mad. So what I did is I just glued some cardboard behind it to hold it together. Oh shit, I just hit the fan. And just kind of painted. I was hoping to put enough paint in there to cover it up, but it didn't happen. So I made this cool little guy. He originally started off like a Jason mask, but again, he morphed into something else. And then this little guy came out of it, and then this weird snake thing with like little dot patterns. And I really like how this guy came out as far as the blending of like the grays and stuff. But then that goofy shit with the eyeball, you know, it just, I love this stuff. This thing just, it was doomed from the beginning. And then again, something else hit it, and it ripped again, so that's a good example of a failure. So that's pretty much it for paintings. I like to paint other stuff. You guys have seen Frankie here, if you watched one of my pickup videos. And here's a new one I'm doing. It's not finished yet, so, you know, don't judge. It's a little skull. My girl picked this one up when I picked up Frankie, and she just got not bored with it. She was getting pissed because she couldn't think of anything to do. So she's like, just paint it. It's pissing me off looking at it. So this is what I got so far. You can't see it well, but there's like that silver around here, and his teeth are silver. And I got some white and red and silver pinstripe and starting. Not the greatest, but what can you do with acrylic paints, you know? But those are those. Now, another thing I'm really into, and I know this one's turning into a real long video. It's like prop building. I used to make a lot of props for haunted attractions and very low budget movies. And I'll just try to get these ones done real quick. This is something I did for a photo shoot that never happened. These are like basically headphones from hell. They were supposed to look like they're going into the girl's head, and they're spiky, and I got these at Goodwill for like $1. These are some old ass headphones. And I just put a bunch of nails in it. See, it's all dusty and spiderwebs. Actually, that makes it look cooler. And then I kind of aged it with paint and made the nails look a little rustier and bloody. And then I added this, again, this is the same thing with the Viva paper towel, and in this case liquid latex. And the little vein thingies are just, that's just hot glue, painted. It doesn't really show up very well in the light here, but it looks pretty cool. And imagine someone walking down the street with this fucking thing on their heads. I may try that someday. So, this guy I'm really excited about. At the end of October, of course, every Halloween thing goes on sale, and I picked up this one of those little cheap plastic skeletons for $3-4 bucks. And I've always wanted a Fiji mermaid. If you don't know what a Fiji mermaid is, go look it up. F-I-J-I, mermaid. If you're a fan of Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses, Fish Boy is basically a Fiji mermaid. So what I did was I started, I put, stupid light, there we go. I put some beads in his eye sockets, glued them in, and then I started working with what they call plumber's epoxy. It's a 2-piece putty that you mix together and you can mold it. You got to do it quick, and it stinks something awful. But and you just basically sculpt with it, and then it becomes as hard as the plastic itself, and it's not quite done. But I'm going for kind of a little monkey face, a little spider monkey face. And this is the body of him, and I literally just secured all the joints in the position I want him in, except for the hands, for when he's going to be mounted. And I took his leg bones, and I put them up through the hip area, and secured them like that, because there's going to be a tail here. And then I'm going to stuff his body, and then wrap him like I did that other thing with the Viva paper towels. And then paint it, and then display it. And you guys will see this in a couple of videos soon. I'm hoping to have him kind of, you know, let's see if I can get this in the frame, kind of looking up at you like that. Oh, this guy's going to be awesome if I ever get off my ass and get it started. So, or finished rather. So I can't wait for that. Another technique you can use with something like that, be careful if you're going to do it, is you wrap it in a plastic cheap bag and you hit it with a hot heat gun. And it just shrinks to it and becomes very organic. And once you start painting it, the wrinkles and the rips and the holes, it just looks awesome. It looks like rotten flesh. If you get into what they call corpsing, you can't fuck up corpsing. And it's easy and it's fun. So, a couple more things and I'll let you go. This is a good example of a project coming up. This is just a dollar store Christmas bulb. And if you're a horror fan, I bet you know exactly what this is going to turn into. I'm a fan of the movie Phantasm. This is going to be one of those spheres that the tall man sends out. It's got a couple blades that come out. And I'm going to leave this deal here so it can mount onto a thing and stay secure. And that's going to be pretty cool, you know. There you go. See the blanket covering the window? So, yeah, that's that. And last but not least, it's kind of a combination of a painting and a, well, it's not necessarily last, but, and a sculpture. This is just a foam skull I found that at Michael's or something like that. This is just something I got at Goodwill, and there was a painting on there, but, you know, fuck that. And I cut the skull in half and mounted it on there, and then I used the Viva paper towel. Now, I didn't like the way this was coming out, so I tried a couple different things and it still just didn't work out. And this has been about 1.5 years in the making. But again, Viva paper towels, and this one is Elmer's glue, yeah. And it really gives you that really cool, almost like Freddy skin. But yeah, hopefully I'll get this done soon. Now, last but not least, you should know that I'm kind of a musician, and I like to make musical instruments out of repurposed stuff. So I build cigar box guitars. And this is an example of one almost finished. There's a neck all carved up, and what you basically do is you just cut the box and put the stick in it, you carve it, and you know, this is where the tuners are going to go. And this one's going to be a 3-string. Sometimes it can be 4 strings. And then you can embellish it with stuff like, you know, this was originally the box for that neck, but then I found that really cool box. I'm going to put this on there for a sound hole. And some really cool, like, really decorative corners for it. And these actually came off of a 100-year-old piano. They're part of the ivory. And it's going to be the bridge and the nut. So I love doing shit like that. So, alright guys, well, let's see. Almost 20 minutes. Holy shit. I'm just going to upload this real quick. I'm probably not even going to post like my picture first and then thanks for subscribing. I'm probably just going to post it up. So Dean, again, congratulations on your milestone way back when. And if you guys don't know Dean, go over to Round2Gaming, the word round, the number 2, and then gaming. and go check him out. He's a great guy. He's got a heart of gold, and his collection is awesome. Guys, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. And I hope you all have a great week. And if you haven't yet, I uploaded a video today. It's a Let's Play on the beefsteak tomatoes. Revenge of the beefsteak tomatoes for the Atari VCS/2600. So after you're done watching this, scroll down one. Check that one out if you would. Subscribe. And leave feedback. All feedback's positive. Up or down. I don't care. Just let me know. And guys, I'm just going to let you go. So take care and bye-bye.